Hi, I'm Clever Ghoul, but you can call me Nikki. Welcome back to the channel! Recently I was on TikTok, and as I was scrolling I saw this video of a couple who put their cat on a piece of paper and then traced her and then turned her into a work of art using a bunch of different ink and paint. It was really funny, but also it immediately made me want to pull out all of my watercolors and all of my brushes and stuff and do the same thing with my cat Birdie. Really, if I'm being honest, I've had a bit of creative block lately. My mind has been in a lot of different places, and so I've just had a hard time getting back into the swing of things. And really pulling out some pencils and paint and just playing for no other reason than to just play around sounds so appealing. I'm aiming for this to be a bit of a loose sketch with some watercolor. This is going to be a quick video. It's not really a tutorial. It's more of a follow my process and let's just play sort of video. So with all that being said, let's get into it. First things first, I have to attempt to trace Birdie onto a piece of watercolor paper. She actually was pretty good about this, although she did really want to eat my pencil in the process. Also, I think she was offended at multiple points during this. Whether it was about my skill, technique, or something else, we may never know. Once I traced her, I went in and added some more details, and of course, in true cat fashion, she didn't want to sit on the paper until I wanted to take the paper back to begin painting. Here's what the rough sketch looked like. I wanted this to be very tonal, so I used this Japanese watercolor set that is meant to look more like graphite. I went in with the graphite brown color to make the outline and darker areas first. I added in her green eye and then went back to the body, going over the area and slowly building up the color. I spent a lot of time going back and forth, adding in details with some other colors like graphite red and graphite violet, my model close by judging me throughout the process. Once dry, I went in with some black micron pens, adding in some sketchy lines to bring some movement and add to that loose sketch-like quality that I had set out for. And then I was done, which means it's time for the reveal. Here it is. You know, it's not my favorite piece that I've ever made, but it's also not my least favorite piece I've ever made. I got so much enjoyment out of making it and playing with the paints and playing with my pens that it was worth it. And yes, I framed this because I think that I'm gonna hang it over her food bowl area so she has a portrait of herself. But also it was just kind of a fun way to remember this piece and remember this moment as like, you may have a little creative block, but it doesn't mean you can't make something cool. I may end up fine-tuning it a little bit more down the road, maybe adding in some deeper tones, maybe playing with some different media on top of it like pastel, but for now this really just helped kick out some of the cobwebs and get my brain and hand connected back together and get into the creative mode a little bit. If any of you have ever dealt with creative block, you understand what I mean by this. Sometimes you just aren't coming up with anything and you kind of have to play a bit with the stuff you have around you to kind of get back into the swing of things. Again, I really enjoyed that video that I saw that inspired this, so I'm going to link that in the description box below. Anyway, we've already hit halfway to Halloween, which means I'm going to start bringing some more spooky content back into the channel soon. I definitely am considering making a second outfit to see Beyonce in the next couple of weeks, so that's something to look out for as well. And I'm really excited to see what I come up with over the next few months. But if you've had creative block before, do you have any tips or tricks to get out of it? I would love to hear them, and I think other people would probably love to know as well. So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!